Good afternoon, class. Good to see you today. We are going to discuss the use of audiovisual instruction. We'll look at the importance of audiovisual instruction in the classroom, types of audiovisual instruction, and what to consider when choosing audiovisual instruction. See you in the class. At the end of this lesson, the student should be able to understand the use of audiovisual instruction or audiovisual instructional aids, types of audiovisual aids, importance of audiovisual aids, and what to consider when selecting audiovisual aids. Audiovisual aids are instructional materials which the teacher uses to supplement instruction. They add to the sense impression, and it helps the student to easily assimilate what the teacher is teaching them. You can see from this picture that every student has audiovisual in front of him or her. As the teacher is teaching, they are seeing the practical on the picture. They are seeing the practical through the picture on their system or in the video they are watching. So it helps the student to easily assimilate what the teacher is teaching them, and also help them to have in-depth knowledge of that particular lesson. We have some examples of audio sounds here. We have radio, we have tape recorder, record player, and other ones. You can see earphone there. You can see flash. There are so many of them that students can use to aid their learning. Before you select audiovisual aid, there are things you should consider. Do I need AV material to achieve lesson objectives? There are some lesson objectives you don't need audio material. There are some lesson objectives that you need audio material. So the first question you should ask yourself, this lesson I'm going to present to these students now, do I need audiovisual material? Then the second thing will be, what will be my students' response? What will be their reaction what will be their reaction when using this audio video? You know, there are some students, little thing distract them, and there are some students, little thing kind of distract them from the real lesson that the teacher is giving to them. You can give some students audiovisual instruction for that particular topic or lesson. They will turn it to another thing and start playing with it. So you ask, what is going to be their reaction? How is the student going to see it? Are the student going to respond to the audiovisual material positively or negatively? At what stage do you think as a teacher you bring in this AV? At what stage of the lesson do you think you need to introduce the AV material? That's another thing you will consider. How will you assess the effectiveness of the particular AV material you are using? These are the things you should consider before selecting audiovisual instruction. Please attend to this activity 1. State 2 reasons why audio sound is good for shorthand students when practicing outlook. Advantages of audiovisual instructional aids. They supplement teaching when carefully selected. That is, when carefully selected. It helps the teacher in his or her teaching. Another thing, it saves time, and much information is communicated at a large time when you use it effectively. The most important thing, and the underlying question there is that, are you using it effectively? Because if you don't use it effectively, you can't get the results you want, and you can't achieve the objective of that lesson. So when selecting a audiovisual instruction, you must make sure that you are going to carefully select one, effectively use, so that you'll be able to achieve and accomplish the set objectives of that particular lesson. Students are attracted by the materials, and if used, you see, there are some materials you bring, like there's some audiovisual instruction you bring to the classroom, and you see that the student will be so quiet, and you see the interest. You see the interest that really, I want to know what the teacher is going to teach today. You could see the motivation. You could see them, that it will just sustain their mood. They will just focus all their concentration on the teacher. And sometimes this audio video instruction helps the students to kind of, there's a way it will make this. You can look at the two students now using audio visual instruction, how they are concentrating. You see, the girl is reading. One of her finger is on her book, and she's pointing the left finger on the audiovisual instruction that she's using in learning. This helps the student to have in-depth knowledge of what she's learning or what she's being taught. It brings in that motivation. The interest is there, and you see, it's accelerate the active thinking. You see how she focused on that audio video, trying to kind of look at what is this, or what is it, what this plus this, what is it going to result, or this thing and this one in my book, are they the same thing? Kind of, you could see that that's kind of sort of thinking that is going on the head of this small girl, because that audiovisual instruction is before him and his notebook is before him. So while she's reading, she's watching at the audio video. See the whole full concentration, including the other girl beside her too. What kind of audiovisual instructional material will you recommend for someone who is blind, and why? Please attend to activity 2. Bye. See you in the next class.